Good morning. My name is Lillian Sunwall. I am the Great Falls PTAC Director, hosted here at Great Falls Development Authority. Montana PTAC is made possible by Big Sky EDA Development and its partner organizations across the state. This Procurement Technical Assistance Center is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Defense Logistics Agency. So for the workshop overview, last week we did Module 1, the preliminaries, learning the rules of the road, and that was on Wednesday, February 23rd. That has been completed. We are doing Module 2 today, preparation, getting ready to write a proposal. Next week, it will be held on Thursday, March 10th, and it will be on execution, organizing a responsive proposal. And the following week, Module 4 will be follow-up, building a relationship, win or lose, Wednesday, March 16th. Here's what we're going to talk about today. Identifying the government's needs, envisioning how you can be a solution, offering ideas for RFP development, anticipating what will be called for, participating in pre-proposal conferences, identifying resources needed, and forming a team if necessary. Identifying the government's needs. First, you would conduct market research to identify who's buying what you are selling. You need to identify the actual end user. Clients need to find out who this is. Look for opportunities to meet and develop a relationship with the end user. Attempt to identify customers' needs before an RFP is formally advertised. Find out if there is an incumbent and who it is. Listen and interpret, and position yourself as a solutions provider. Business need to do anything they can to get in front of the business buying cycle. Last week, we identified 2 ways, which was responding to pre-solicitations and sources sought. Other ways are to attend a pre-proposal conference and industry days. And vendors should also be prepared to deliver an elevator speech about themselves and have a written capability statements. A little more information about the incumbent. Make sure that the reason the federal agency is recompeting this RFP is because they may be unsatisfied with the incumbent. Next, envisioning how you can be a solution. Find out what problems need to be solved and position yourself as a problem solver. What problems are likely to exist, and find out what fears the end user has so that the appropriate reassurances can be incorporated into your proposal. A reminder that the government does not like to take risks. Offering ideas for RFP development. Respond to sources sought. Stress experience, your capabilities, your quality of work, and small business status. This might be the best opportunity you have to get in front of a contracting officer or an end user with a federal agency. Provide information like a draft scope of work, background on products and services, specifications, cost estimates, white papers. Identify who may be on an evaluation committee and what their hot buttons are, and identify anyone who knows the end user with the agency who can provide additional insights. This could also lead to a teaming opportunity. Anticipate what could be called for. Anticipate work performed or similar size and scope. Remember that you need to provide references, evidence of financial capability, and capacity, resumes of the principals, qualifications of team members, vendor registrations, certifications, and pre-approvals. You should be prepared with having these items updated in advance so that you can quickly respond to sources sought, requests for information, requests for qualification, and other inquiries from government agencies and potentially prime contractors. One thing to remember is if you're going to use past performance and you don't have any federal past performance, use state. If you do not have state past performance, then use local government performances. If you don't have that, then use commercial past performance. Participate in pre-proposal conferences. Prepare yourself, your questions, and your materials. Don't attend, participate. And remember, everyone there is a potential partner, competitor, and decision maker. And your goal is to meet and impress everyone. I would recommend that before you attend a pre-proposal conference, that you are going to be anticipating presenting or submitting an RFP for. Attend one that you might not think you would be interested in just for the experience. This will give you an option to see what other people do when they attend these. Identify resources needed. So designate who's got the lead on the RFP preparation. Do they have the expertise or do they need to team with a partner? Put together a schedule. Identify documents, specifications, and standards needed. And form a blue team and a red team to handle in-house reviews of your proposal. This next screen shows what the blue team and the red team review teams do. The blue team review ensures that the basic outline of the proposal is correct and complete, and that a writer is assigned to each section. It's very important to make sure that the instructions are followed, the evaluation criteria is adhered to, and that you are meeting all the general requirements. Remember, evaluation criteria is very important. It's the red team. The red team review should reflect the perspective of the evaluators or the selection committee. The coding reviews are an accepted industry practice that are used by many companies that put together requests for proposals. But if your company is small and you don't have the capability to have a red team and a blue team, still remember that review is essential. Form a team to perform the work. If there's an incumbent, determine how pleased the end user is with the incumbent's performance. Maybe he has decided, that company has decided not to recompete, but maybe the agency, like I said before, is putting this out there because they are not pleased with the performance of the incumbent. So ask those questions. At this time, you can ask questions until the RFP is put out to compete. Make sure you meet all the requirements or assemble a team that can. And then score yourself against the solicitation's evaluation criteria. That would be the red team's job. Be objective. I know we all think that we are the best at what we do, but remember that there are other people who are really good at their jobs too. So be objective in your evaluation. So we have learned today about conducting market research, identifying potential buyers of your products or services, in the incumbent, if there is one, to find out how satisfied the government is, participating in pre-proposal conferences, and identifying resources needed, including partners. So you all should have received this exercise on a pre-proposal conference. It is on concrete walkways and patios for the City of Forest Park Police Department. I have gone ahead and highlighted different areas in the document because we do not have a lot of time for you to be able to go through and read this. So take a moment to go through and look at all the highlighted areas of the mandatory pre-proposal conference. As you can see, there are general requirements and specifications. It lists qualifications, communication, evaluation, the actual evaluation criteria, about the pre-proposal, the award, how the submission is to be made, talks about a bid bond, insurance requirements, how you are to deliver the information, and what materials need to be included, debarment, affidavits, proposal form, and a bidder's qualification sheet. As you can see, this is a very in-depth document. So here are some of the questions that you might ask yourself. What does the government expect to happen at a pre-proposal conference? The government simply wants to dispense information and answer questions. Number 2, why should you attend the pre-proposal conference? For the reasons stated in this module, to learn more about the job, also to meet the decision makers, your competitors, and potential partners. And even if you only want to be a subcontractor, you should attend in order to meet the companies that attend to compete. Number 3, what is unique about this pre-proposal conference? This is not only a pre-proposal conference, it is also a site visit, and the notice says it is mandatory. That means if you do not attend, you cannot respond. Question 4, what should you ask about at this event? Any and all questions, how the work is to be performed. There are many details required in the scope of work, so make sure you take the time to review the documents and write down questions so that you are prepared when you get there to be a full participant in the pre-proposal conference. Also, the solicitation document uses certain terminology inconsistently. For instance, they are asking for a proposal, but they are referring to the proponents as bidders. So it doesn't really make sense. And you can ask them about that. That would be one of the things that you might want to bring up. Also, there are 9 evaluation criteria, but only 1 refers to price. Also, it's noteworthy that they have mentioned that 3 bidders may be invited in for an interview before an award is made. So take the time to review the document, and we look forward to seeing you in the next 2 weeks for Module 3, Execution, Organizing a Responsive Proposal, and it's going to be held Thursday, March 10th. And then Module 4, Follow-up, Building a Relationship, Win or Lose, and that will be held Wednesday, March 16th. And here are our contact information if you need to get a hold of us, and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you for participating in this training.